Hello everyone, I'm Shiji Mohan once again from Inkpot with yet another session, and today's topic of discussion is history of English literature. When we study the history of English literature, we get to know that it has passed through different phases, and these phases are termed as ages or periods, which are named after important rulers of England or central literary figures or literary movements and so on. So first, let's take a peek at the important periods in the history of English literature. Now, as you can see, it starts with the Old English period, followed by the Middle English period, then Early Modern English period, Late Modern English. Now, though the age of Chaucer is marked as the most significant age in the history of English literature, it will be unfair if we ignore the pre-Chaucerian period, because English language owes something to this period. We'll come to that. So the pre-Chaucerian period is divided into Anglo-Saxon period and Anglo-Norman period. In this segment, let's focus on the Anglo-Saxon period or the Old English period that spans over 600 years. But before we jump into the literature of this period, let's spend a few minutes to understand the history of early Britain. So let's go back to the time when England was inhabited by Celts. Britain was occupied by tribes of people called Celts around 2000 years ago, and these Celtic people are also called Britons, from whom the island got its name Britain, which means the land of Britons. And during this period, the Romans invaded Britain with the intention of extending the Roman Empire. And they remained in Britain from 43 AD to 410 AD, which is almost 4 centuries. And that was the time when Britain was changed to Roman Britain. But when the city of Rome was under attack, due to which the Roman Empire was falling apart, Romans had to leave Britain to settle the matters. And when the Roman troops departed, Britain became open to other invaders. Next is the turn of German-speaking tribes who came all the way from Northern Europe, including Germany, Denmark, and the Netherlands. And these Germanic tribes include Anglo-Saxons and Jutes. They pushed all the natives of Britain, that is the Celtic inhabitants of Britain, to Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. And these Anglo-Saxon groups settled in different parts of the country and formed several kingdoms like Kent, Northumbria, East Anglia, Mercia, Sussex, Wessex, and Essex. Now, when I talk about the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms, let me tell you about the most notable and celebrated of all Anglo-Saxon kings, that is the King Alfred the Great, the only English king to be given the title the Great. After ascending the throne, King Alfred spent several years fighting Viking invasions. Now, Vikings were Norsemen who came from Scandinavia. They first invaded Britain in 793 AD but was defeated by King Alfred at the Battle of Edington in 878 AD. Now, the Anglo-Saxon culture flourished. They became the natives of Britain, which means the Romans were replaced by Anglo-Saxons. And Anglo-Saxons named their newly conquered land as Angleland, which means the land of Angles. And it later came to be known as England. Now, Anglo-Saxons ruled Britain for over 600 years, that is till 1066, when Normans who were residing in Normandy, which is in France, defeated Anglo-Saxons at the Battle of Hastings. And that marked the beginning of Anglo-Norman period. So that was a brief account of the history of early Britain. Now let's move on to the next segment of our video. Let's begin with language and let's see how the English language developed as a result of several invasions of Britain. Here you can see the timeline of invasions. It begins with Celts, who were the early inhabitants of Britain. During this period, their language was Celtic, and as the Romans invaded Britain, they brought with them Latin. and Latin became the official language of Britain for over 400 years. And in 450 AD, Anglo-Saxons, who were Germanic tribes, invaded Britain and several dialects of German language came into being. And Anglo-Saxon language becomes the first form of English and is referred to as Old English. Next is religion. Anglo-Saxons were pagans or polytheistic when they came to England. Thereafter, St. Augustine arrived in England to convert Anglo-Saxons to Christianity. St. Augustine landed in Kent and converted King Ethelbert of Kent and his court to Christianity. Initially, Christianity and Anglo-Saxon culture coexisted, but Christianity gradually spread across England, replacing the Anglo-Saxon pagan religion. Now let's check out some important facts about history of English literature. History of English literature began with the Anglo-Saxon settlement in Britain. But Anglo-Saxon literature began not with books. They had a rich tradition of oral literature. Literature was passed from generation to generation by words of mouth. Nothing was written until the spread of Christianity. And with the coming of Christian Church, written literature began to evolve. Anglo-Saxon works include genres such as epic poetry, hagiography, sermons, Bible translations, legal works, chronicles, riddles, and others. The earliest Anglo-Saxon literature must have been in poetry, and poetry is probably the genre in which Anglo-Saxons most excelled. Old English poetry has survived almost entirely in 4 manuscripts, and they are the Exeter Book, the Junius manuscript, the Worsley Book, and the Beowulf manuscript. Anglo-Saxon verse falls into 2 main categories: heroic, recounting the achievement of warriors, and elegiac, lamenting the dead ones and the loss of the past. Most Old English poets or Anglo-Saxon authors are anonymous. Caedmon was the first one who used Anglo-Saxon dialect or Old English in writing. Caedmon's hymn is one of the oldest surviving Old English texts, and it is a short poem of 9 lines. Another poet of this period is Cynewulf. He is best known for his 4 works, and they are Eileen, Juliana, The Fate of the Apostles, and Christ Second, which is also known as the Ascension. Caedmon and Cynewulf wrote on biblical and religious themes. The works of Caedmon were mainly based on the Old Testament, whereas most of Cynewulf's works are based on the New Testament. So Caedmon and Cynewulf can well be called as the first poets of English literature. Over to one of the most important works of Anglo-Saxon literature, which is the epic poem Beowulf, written by an unknown author, and it is considered as the longest surviving Old English poem, which has 3,182 lines. Here are a few works by anonymous writers: the Exeter Book Riddles, the Wife's Lament, the Seafarer, the Wanderer, the Dream of the Rood, the Battle of Maldon. Literary techniques used in Anglo-Saxon poetry. Anglo-Saxon poems were written in blank verse. There were no end rhymes. Commonly used poetic device was alliteration, which is a repetition of consonant sounds within a line of poetry. Use of caesura, a pause in the middle of a line of poetry, like taking a breath. Kennings were another poetic device commonly used in Anglo-Saxon poetry, and it is a specialized metaphor made of compound words. Example of kennings are battle sweat for blood, sky candle is a kenning for sun, and whale road is a kenning for sea. And another literary technique is riddle, which is a linguistic guessing game meant to mislead or mystify. Bede was one of the greatest scholars of the Anglo-Saxon period. He is the most famous for his work Ecclesiastical History of the English People, originally written in Latin, which gained him the title the Father of English History. And in this work, he provides an in-depth history of England up to his own lifetime. Anglo-Saxon prose makes a true beginning during King Alfred's reign. The great prose writers of the Old English period are King Alfred, Aelfric and Wulstan. King Alfred is known as the father of English prose, and it was he who promoted written English. And King Alfred translated many Latin works, out of which Gregory's Pastoral Care and the Venerable Bede's Ecclesiastical History of English are important. Now, Aelfric's work is Colloquium and Catholic Homilies, and Wulstan's work is Sermolupiad Anglos. Another major work of this period is Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, which was originally compiled during the reign of King Alfred, and it was not composed by King Alfred, but under his influence and orders, it was maintained as a regularly collected history of Britain. It is an account of the events beginning with Roman invasion under Julius Caesar. So that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed this session. And if you want to practice more question answers, just visit our website, and also do let me know which topic in literature you want me to discuss. So thanks for watching.